It's working. So, hey guys, welcome to the 30,000 subscriber live stream. Something we like doing pretty much every, I guess, significant milestone to us personally when we arrive at it on YouTube. So 30K we hit a couple of weeks ago now, so we're finally getting around to doing a live stream.
Yeah, so it's obviously been pretty busy, and I have comments now, sorry, so you can actually see.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, hello, oh good, loud and clear. Congratulations, love your content. Shane says hello. Hi Shane.
Hey guys, how you going?
Congratulations guys on 30Ks. Afternoon neighbours. Yeah, hello everyone.
So we are in the garage, much to Bianca's disgust, because summer has well and truly kicked in. It's like mid-30s today. We're sweating a bit, but it's just nice to be in the garage, like the place where you guys see the D-Max taking shape. All those DIY projects commenced.
And Daniel's hot and sweaty now and
regretting his
decision. But no, it's this is the place where everything began, I guess, technically.
Yeah, all those years ago in the garage. So yeah, 30K is a pretty big deal to us. We definitely hit it a little bit sooner than we were expecting, which always seems to be the way with these milestones. They kind of catch us by surprise, but it's nice to be in here and have a chat to you guys. We were at the Perth Four-Wheel Drive show last weekend, which was awesome fun. It's always so much fun to like put faces to the names of people you see in the comments section here on YouTube, and you've been chatting to, you know, on various different platforms.
Yeah, definitely. And we're really, really grateful. Like everyone that came through, you're also lovely and so supportive of the channel. And thank you for buying merch as well.
Yes.
It was a really huge weekend for us. We were pretty fried. If you spoke to us on Sunday afternoon, then I'm sorry, we're probably pretty out of it by there. But no, it was really good to just, it's always like nice, as Daniel said, to put names to faces to names, and just to say hello and for you guys to come through and see the D-Max and see that Daniel's build really is as good as it is on video.
It's always such a good test for my DIY projects as four-wheel drive shows, Melbourne in particular, but Perth to some extent as well, because you know, you people are all around there like interacting with, testing out the drawers, extending the slide out kitchen and just messing around with it, like in a good way.
Yeah, like, you know, trying to, and it's funny because, you know, if people aren't that savvy on how it's built or whatever, you know, they might not know us, but they're still trying out the gear, which is fine, and that's exactly what it's for. But they'll be like trying to open and close the drawers without pushing a lock down. And
I think my favourite one is when they try and extend the lower bench that comes out below that slide out kitchen. And if you hold the orange tab down, it's designed to be able to like fully remove that inner set of drawer runners. And so they'll hold it down a little bit too far and they'll be extending it, and it'll come past the standard place where it would lock in. And then it'll be sitting out a bit too extended. And when it gets to that level, you really have to shove it to get it to click back into the correct position. And they'll be like, oh, it's coming out too far. And they'll go to push it back and it will stop at the section where you have to really put some force on, and they'll just like sit it there and then just walk away.
Broke the drawer runners. But yeah, no, that's normal. We just come back every now and then. We'll come through and slam it shut, and then it's perfect again. So.
I should have some stickers saying like, just treat it rough and it'll all be fine.
But it always works really well. Sorry, I'm just reading through comments, and most of it is saying good afternoon. Congrats on achieving the 30K mark. Yeah, thank you. WA Ranger. Jack Turtle says, g'day guys from Hervey Bay in Queensland.
Hey Jack, long time viewer.
Yeah, I was going to say
a few of those names are long time viewers. WA Ranger as well.
That.
Yeah.
And then we've got Afternoon Neighbours. Congrats on the 30K from Tarwin. Oh no, but I just read that. Wait, no, we're going in order. No, here we go. Okay, sorry. WA Ranger, I've been following you for quite a while and I've really enjoyed seeing your style and content develop brilliantly. Yeah, thank you very much. DT Touring, congrats guys, thank you.
Hey guys, how you going?
Greg, afternoon guys, happy 30. And someone else saying, Jack Turtle, hi mate. Digby's down under, congrats guys, great to meet you at the show. Yeah, that was
great
really
to
cool.
meet you
Thank you so much.
Yep.
It
was nice seeing some of those familiar names we actually got a chance to meet and say hi to, or even just names that we've seen been popping up in these comment section for years. We've got some really long time viewers, which definitely means the world to us, and it must be interesting, I suppose, like see the evolution, because just Bianca and I, like a few weeks ago, decided to watch back some of our like original travel episodes. It's so cringe. It's like, oh, we published that.
And it's not like the content is fine. It's, you know, we still are the same people, but just I guess the quality of the footage and you know how much we left in there. You know, it's like a lot of talking and stuff that nowadays we would just be like, nah, cut that out. That's boring. You know, it's just like we're watching, and one of them, I think I was just sitting there and I was like, just move on, stop, like,
so we're like fast forwarding our own videos. So I suppose what I'm going to get there is like massive respect to viewers who've been watching it back since those early days.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we're doing a little bit better now than we were back in those original days.
Yeah, we learn as we go, so that's the main thing, I think, and that's the most important part really, is that always trying to improve.
Yeah, the next thing for us is going to be trying to figure out how to effectively edit on the road, because I'm sure a few of you guys might have known just from snippets we've been dropping in various videos or chatting to us at shows. We are officially kicking off on our lap around Australia next year in February. Exact dates are still kind of TBD, and we have a ton of stuff to organise in between now and then. But we're going to be documenting the whole experience, as you can imagine, here on YouTube. So that's going to involve a lot of filming, shooting, editing, and publishing on the road, which will be a little bit of a new experience for us, because we're quite used to like going out for the Gibb River Road, for example. Every day you're capturing, transfer footage at the end of the day, but then you come back home to do that, the final edit to publish what you guys see on YouTube, and that takes a long time. So doing that on the fly is going to be an interesting experience for us, but we're keen to
even just the simple things of like, when we're editing at home, we've got 2 monitors, you know, and so you can kind of have like your big spread and then your main like preview screen on the other one, whereas like going that from 2 massive screens down to like a little laptop screen is going to be pretty different. And yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of little kinks that we'll have to iron out along the way, but we're both really excited, and there's so much to prepare. Just all the little bits and pieces, the niggly little bits, and because it's not just the car that we've got to prep, it's also the whole house has to be packed up.
Yeah, excuse the mess in the background right now, but to give you an idea of like the level we have to go to get this house empty, to then rent out while we're away, to hopefully at least like the mortgage can be taking care of itself while we're out gallivanting around this amazing country.
Definitely. Sorry, I keep going through your comments. Robert Marhood says grey shorts. I assume you mean Daniel's, because I'm wearing red shorts.
Yeah,
so,
they're kind of a bluish grey. I thought I'd go for a darker colour to contrast the new white shirts, which we finally got. We've had black shirts for a couple of years. And when we did the Gibb River Road, we were doing one of those hikes, and I was wearing my black Explore Bound shirt, and the sun was just roasting me alive. So I made it our mission. We got back to finally design up some white shirts. So these are the brand new shirts that we launched at the 4-wheel drive show, with a bit of a design on the back. Got the D-Max driving up to the location pin from the logo.
And a few little hidden gems in there too.
Yeah.
With, a little dingo in there, and a little echidna from sort of trip videos.
Yep.
And I think we'd love to do a lot more with that, but it's obviously time and money. But if you guys like it, let us know, because then we'll just, we can go nuts. And next year, I think the other big thing is obviously I will be working with this full-time as well. So up until now,
take a bit of the load off me.
Up until now, this has been like 90% Daniel. I definitely do help out, and when we're out filming, then obviously I'm there 100%. But you know, with my full-time job, I'm still teaching, so it's that saps every tiny bit of energy that I could possibly have left, and poor Daniel was just left with like a husk at the end, and I help where I can, but it honestly has been mostly Daniel to get this far, so when I say congrats, it's usually to him.
No, it's Bianca helps out immensely. She's not on camera, and then she's always the first person to watch every single video you guys see on the channel and delivers some tough but fair criticism, which I ask for. That's one of my favourite parts about Bianca, is she's able to give me that like
very brutal. You guys
brutally honest feedback, and that's probably a big reason why hopefully things have slowly improved on the channel over the years, thanks to Bianca's criticism. Because sometimes, like, especially when you're editing a video, and by the end of the time, like, by the end of the edit, you've watched the same clip 10, 20, 30 times. You kind of lose perspective on being able to accurately evaluate what needs to be chopped and changed. But that's where
you say a word so many times, it doesn't sound like a
rubbish
word
bin
anymore.
There was one of the videos way back in the day. I was doing a tour of this workshop, and I was trying to like just bullet point list a few things, and one of them was the rubbish bin. It sounds weird to put it without context, but in the flow of the video, it made sense to feel like this is where we keep the rubbish bin. And so I just wanted one clip of me saying rubbish bin as I showed it. And it was one of those things where we try and do like 2 or 3 different takes, but then every time I'd say rubbish bin, it didn't sound normal anymore. So it was like rubbish bin.
Yeah, we got like 20 clips of me like rubbish bin, rubbish bin, rubbish bin.
We should have really made a montage at the end of that.
Yeah, so and it was just at the end of the day, like any one of them probably would have been fine. We were just so stuck with over-analysing. But that was very early days. We were both really learning, and we've learned a lot, but we still laugh about it, and it still happens every now and then. And
absolutely.
Rubbish bin, so. But no, it's a lot. I'm trying to keep going through these. We've got great shots. Luke Joyce says, using your vids as a blueprint to deck out my new canopy. Heaps of awesome ideas.
Awesome. Congratulations on the new canopy, first and foremost there. It's such an exciting time, I find, when you get to start with a blank canvas. and there's just so many options of different ways you can take your setup to really suit your needs. Obviously, we've decked out ours to suit our specific needs with low bench space and tons of storage for next year and the kitchen the way it is, but someone else's needs might be completely different. So yeah, getting to kind of jump in at a fresh blank canvas stage is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then we've got, I'm going to get through a few, so stop interrupting me. Mark Dyson said, love your videos, with a little, I think it's a peace sign or whatever it is, but that's awesome, thank you. Time, I think. Been a sub since the early days, been great watching your channel grow, keep it up, thank you. Taiwan said, Expo Ranger days, yes. Wow, those are some old days. Luke Joyce also said, cough, Starlink, cough. Yeah, we've got a Starlink.
Yeah, so we picked up one of those a few months ago when I was heading across to Melbourne for that forward drive show. So it really needed some internet on the road to be able to like keep some work happening during that transit time across and back. Worked fantastically. We got the Gen 2, so it's a bit big and bulky, but it's the one that kind of drives itself around to find the best satellite connection. And I reckon like a month after we bought that, they released or announced that new Starlink Mini, which is like a third of the size and it has the router built in. So that would have definitely been the way to go for us, especially next year, because I'm imagining our car is going to be absolutely packed to the limit.
Yeah, and the current Starlink takes up quite a lot of real estate in the car, because I guess just the way you can store it without the box that it comes in, and it's obviously going to be nicer, but we like to try and protect it, especially with the kind of roads we're driving and the amount of stuff that we're chucking in and out of the car. So yeah, we really do kind of go on the careful side, I guess, and we keep it in the box, and then that takes up even more room. So yeah, and then sorry, I'm just continuing going through because I'm keeping on losing track. My phone keeps
While
refreshing.
you're reading, can I just jump in? Because we did put up a couple of posts announcing we were doing this live stream, and there was a couple of comments there I thought we better get to. So number one was from Anthony HF6BB. Said, hey guys, I don't know if you remember, but during your 20K live stream, I commented the channel had been a huge inspiration to me. My fiance and I were 3 days into our big lap of Australia at the time, having just left Sydney. There's been a big change of plans for us along our journey, and we're now living in the Margaret River region. And he goes on to share some more of his life's changes.
I do remember that, and I'm so like, Daniel and I haven't had a chance to talk about that, but I actually read that comment earlier today, which you wouldn't have known, but I did read through that. I remember that. Don't know if you do, but that's awesome, because I remember hearing about it. I was like, oh my God, that's what we want to do, or that might be us next year. And now you guys have done that.
You're based over in our neck of the woods in a way, over in WA.
Wouldn't it be ironic if we end up living back over in where you were from?
Just like the old switcheroo.
Switcheroo.
So if you have any advice for us kicking off on our lap very soon, please let us know. We're kind of flying blind a little bit in that capacity. Obviously, we've seen other people getting out and doing a similar thing, but is there any first-hand experience you guys have or advice you want to share? Let us know. We're not towing, so we're doing it exclusively in the D-Max with the rooftop tent for our entire lap, which we may or may not regret. Not having a bit of extra real estate, but we'll see how we go. And we're excited.
Definitely, but I was really impressed with my brain that I remembered that. So it really stuck in my mind. So yeah, that's so awesome. And Margaret River, beautiful place down there.
Yeah, stoked to hear you're doing well and those life changes are serving you well.
Yeah, and I don't think we can really take credit for it. You guys made, you were going to go around Australia anyway, but I'm glad that we could inspire you to travel. Anyway, continuing on, Jack said, sorry, that's your conversation. Digby's Down Under. I'm going to do a vlog like Fire to Fork, but mine will be on how not to cook. It's tough trying to keep up with the editing on the road. Good luck with that. Yeah, thanks. If I was doing a Fire to Fork, it'd definitely be like how not to cook. 100%. Daniel would be able to do one, but
you can make some sandy, was it fried rice? Yeah, sandy fried rice. We don't talk about that.
John Jones, crank up the volume, guys. Congrats on 30.2k subs. Thank you. Congrats from Lifeline. Thank you. Josh, Change 5. My wife and I love seeing a young couple like us who love travelling around. Awesome work and inspiration, legends. Will you keep the rooftop or go camper? Oh yeah, well Daniel just answered that.
Yeah, so we'll be keeping the rooftop tent next year. I'm pretty sure it'll be the same one we've had for years. It's been working really well for us. The only downside is that side access, which might get annoying after 8 or 9 months on the road. But that's our current plan, just to stick with the rooftop tent.
I think as well, like a camper for me, I think of a camper trailer, like not a hybrid, like an actual just camper trailer that you're going to fold out and put up. I feel like, I don't know about Daniel, but for me, if I was going to start towing, I'd probably just skip the campers altogether and go into like a hybrid or
straight
caravan.
To a van.
Only because, I don't know, I don't like towing, and if we're going to tow, then I want to make it sort of as worthwhile as possible.
We're just not into towing because I guess, well, for me personally, I can't really speak for Bianca, but I just find it a bit potentially restricting on where you can or can't visit. Because some of the places we've been, like, I would not like the idea of towing either a camper trailer or a caravan down into some of those camp spots, like Stream Beach is one down in Bremer Bay, for example. Like, it's a pretty tight, not to mention scratchy track with a few kind of holes here and there. And I imagine going around Australia, we're going to see hundreds of places like that. You know, we just don't want that restriction. And I suppose you could say you just leave your caravan parked somewhere and then tour down in there with the vehicle for the day, but it's just something else to be mindful of.
Yeah.
We live pretty comfortably out of the D-Max, and like I did it for a month straight doing the Gibb River Road, Bianca, for 16 days straight.
17.
Never got 17. Never got sick of it. Never felt crammed. We had plenty of space in the tent.
Yeah.
Plenty of space like to get around and use the kitchen. It all works well for us. Where we might potentially have dramas is in bad weather, whether it's like sweltering sun, where it'd be nice to jump into somewhere with aircon, very first world problem, or pouring down with rain because we don't really have currently any sheltered space to sit or edit videos or eat dinner or anything like that. We've got the tent, but we kind of just like use it for sleeping.
Yeah, so I think we're definitely going to look at upgrading the awning before we go because we're still rocking the old, I don't know,
the $90 rollout awning.
The rollout awning, which has been working great. But yeah, it's definitely one that we want to sort of upgrade when it's going to be our house. It'd be nice to have like some area.
We're sussing out a few at the Perth Forward Drive show. There's some nice ones on the market. It just gets complicated with canopy setups.
Doors, yeah.
Yeah, because you obviously, like, if you have a 270 that goes around, one of those poles is normally kind of across your canopy door. So when you open it up, it's going to whack into that support arm. Now, most doors, ours included, you can adjust so they don't go the whole way up. But
just a tall man.
Yeah, just being tall, like, I kind of need that door to open to its full extension. So we're hoping to get an awning that either is like a 180 and folds out so those support arms are either side of the canopy door, so I can open up in between those two.
That does the same thing, like with the arms.
Yeah, or some of those 270s that have the front fin as well do fold up in a similar fashion. So watch this space. Fingers crossed we can suss something out before we head off, or it might be an on-the-road modification. Just before you do more comments, there was one more question we got on one of those posts, which was, there has like 100 things to get to. I'm like, let me get to my one thing. Someone just asked about the gas bottle mount on the roof of the car, which is a question we also got a lot on at the Forward Drive show. That is a top-end camp gear gas bottle mount that's just like bolted to the roof rack. I am potentially going to move that as per an idea I got from Camping Down Under, who was at the Perth Forward Drive show with us.
Paul actually had his in a really awesome spot.
Exact same bracket. He just mounted it behind his fold-down ladder on the back of the canopy. So might try and move mine to there, but that is the mount that we use. And they've got a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, I was just like running out of breath.
Yeah, which I thought was a legend idea, actually. That's really good. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Oh, yeah, we'll be a rooftop camper. Jack Turtle said, love the new white shirt, guys. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Should hopefully keep us cooler.
And then we've got Newy Joe said, Dan, you've been to the gym.
I reckon this shirt has shrunk a bit in the wash. I was going to mention this to Bianca off camera because I just found it and it feels a little bit tighter than it should be.
I just want to say a massive, I told you so. I told you so. Not that these shirts shrink, but you know, they do shrink
technical
a little
difficulties.
bit. They do shrink a little bit. And Daniel was like, oh no, I'll wear a medium. And I was like, are you sure? Like, you probably should go a large because I know it's a little bit long. You know, you wash it and it'll be the perfect size. When you wear medium, they're good for like the first wear or two and then they shrink in the wash, especially if you put them through the dryer, which you do. I don't. You do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
Anyway,
evidence of that.
It's just me being picky with you, but
yeah, this shirt is probably a bit too small for me. I should be wearing a large.
Anyway, no, he's not been to the gym.
No, we've been running.
I've been
That's
to the
about it.
gym, lots, but Daniel's not. So hopefully everyone can notice my guns. I'll beat you up. Anyway, sorry, distracted. Digby Down Under, this is my rubbish bin. There are many like it, but this is mine. Lol.
Rubbish bin.
Yep. Rubbish bin. WA Ranger, any mods to the D-Max for the lap trip?
A demo of the rubbish bin. It's very full.
I need to empty that rubbish bin.
Sorry, what was that?
Any mods to the D-Max for the lap trip?
Yes, there's still an ever-growing and everlasting list of mods to do with the D-Max.
Just record that and replay it every month.
Sidesteps has been on the list since we got the D-Max. It's one of those things that I I'm very quick to just push down the list because I don't personally need them when I'm getting in and out of the car. For side protection, for sure, we do have to be pretty mindful when we're off-road not to bash the sills up.
It's so nice to have that peace of mind. Not that it will stop it all the time. You still get the jagged rock every now and then that will just skip your sidestep and go straight into your door, but...
That's what happened to us. If we get sidesteps, we'll get some weird rock. But fingers crossed, get sidesteps organised before our lap. Not sure what brand will go, just something cheap and dirty to get the job done.
Ones from the same brand that do your bull bar.
Yeah, Off-Road Animal do make some nice side steps, but they're about $1,800 for a set
Everything
of
is
side
so
steps.
expensive. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
that's number one.
steps,
Water tank is currently 50% installed on the car. Some of you guys got to
James,
check
what
that
are you
out
doing?
at the Perth 4 Drive Show. A good friend of mine, James, is a plumber, so he's giving me a hand rigging up all that plumbing together, but we just had to wait for some parts to get in before we could finish that project. But that's hopefully getting done in the next couple of weeks. There'll be a full video on that as well.
Ice cream sandwiches.
It's a very, very niche inside joke for one person.
Well, if he watches it, he'll be grateful.
Solar for the roof of the tent, just so if we do happen to park up for a couple of nights, we've got a bit of power being trickled back into the battery, because now that we're induction cooking, we're using more power than ever before. It's one of those things, like you get a bigger battery, you end up using more power, so you need more solar. It's just this cycle kind of repeats. Whereas we were talking about this the other day, like going back 4 or 5 years, we used to have like a 100 amp hour AGM battery to run our old 40 litre Waco fridge, which is in the corner of the garage there, charge our phones and whatnot, and that was sufficient. But now obviously we get bigger batteries, so you use more power, so you need more power, so you use more. It's just a bit of a cycle in that respect.
I'm curious to know as well if we ever go back to gas cooking, because Daniel reckons he'll never turn back after induction, but for me, I never had an issue with gas cooking, so that is one way you can save a lot of power. Granted, then you have to carry a gas bottle, which Daniel reckons he doesn't like doing, but then we do anyway and we never use it. So
No, my argument is with induction, you're able to refuel your cooking fuel source while you're driving along, so you're charging your battery up, whereas on a lap, I don't want to have to depend on like where are we going to get our next gas bottle refill, and that bottle is quite small. It needs to be able to store either on the roof or behind the ladder, so we can't fit like a big 9 kilo bottle on the roof of the D-Max. So that's just one of those peace of mind things, and maybe convenience more than anything else.
Yeah, and then I guess what else have we got to organise on the car? Lots of little bits and pieces. Like I'm still not 100% happy with how we organise clothes on the gib, like clothes to wear and stuff. And so when we're living out of it, like there'll definitely have to just be a bit of time spent like just organising the car, figuring out where to pack stuff, like packing it, repacking it, just figuring out where stuff fits. I imagine that'll actually take quite a while for us to figure out what works. And
Bianca wants to run a dedicated freezer for the lap as well, which I don't.
I don't know why you're so against it. You run everything else off the battery. Why not a freezer?
It's not battery capacity, it's storage.
It's space,
because it's a big thing to haul around for a year.
Someone please make a drawer freezer, like a good.
Well, they exist. It's
but they're only fridge freezers, and they're not good. Remember? I looked at this when we did the gib. I can't find a good drawer freezer.
Not good.
None of you are doing a good job. No, because then we could replace one of the 3 drawers with like the drawer freezer, and then we'd have a dedicated freezer that we can put stuff on top.
That
That's the
sounds
important thing.
like a Bianca DIY project.
I don't know how to make a freezer.
No, not build one, install it.
Oh, it's still easy. Just put it on top.
Just tech screwed into the drawers, like job done.
I wasn't even going that far. Literally just put it on top. But no, anyway. So I don't think it's the rest of the stuff is just little bits and pieces.
We're gonna make some. This is one of the ideas we actually got based on the comment section of one of our videos, which was essentially running some steel cables on the inside of the canopy door to hang things like tea towels and whatnot to dry, either while you're driving along or while the door is open. So someone actually sent me through some photos on Instagram, because we talked about this on one of our trip episodes earlier on in the year. Bianca thought of the idea, and then someone sent me photos of their application of this, which looked awesome. Super easy to do. Just put some little some steel cables on the door.
Also, I feel like we might need some form of a washing line regardless, like more than that. So if we are somewhere and we're washing clothes that doesn't have somewhere to dry them, I don't know. There's just a lot of bits and pieces to figure out. But there's also like, we're not going to be off grid completely for like 8 to 10 months. We'll be dropping, there's plenty of towns and stuff and shops that we'll go to. So, but yeah, lots of that stuff. So I guess the actual D-Max, maybe a bigger alternator. I don't think that'll happen though. I think we're just going to run with it.
I just don't think I'm going to have time to upgrade that. It needs to be upgraded for sure. It's running at its absolute maximum right now, and it does give us a few dramas charging both batteries, because it just doesn't have the juice to do everything simultaneously. It's just probably going to come down to a time thing, whether we've actually got time to swap that over.
Time and money.
Yeah.
So But anyway, sorry, I'll continue on. Sean Matthews, I recognise that name.
Yes.
Congrats, guys. Massive achievement. I know the hard yards you've put into the channel. I couldn't think of more deserving people to hit this milestone.
Thank you, Sean. Very kind words.
Very nice. Anthony Weeks, congrats on 30K with many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greg replying to, I assume, what we were saying, if you have any tips for our lap. I think that's what who
Oh,
was.
maybe.
Plan.
Yep.
I think that was Greg. Yep. 30K, I think. I can't remember. I feel like it was. Maybe it's not. Unless that's your own, that's someone, no, so that's someone else, but maybe that's, I'm assuming what plan is about our trip, but yeah, thank you. I'm so terrible at planning, so you can plan.
As far as like location planning, we're not going to really plan it out like this day we're going to be here, this day we're going to be here, this day we're going to be here. We're going to have a few hot spots we definitely want to visit, but we're going to try and leave the timeline as flexible as we can while still booking the areas we need to book for the trip. To give us a bit of that flexibility to either stay longer in a place we absolutely love or kind of shoot through if we're trying to make it to somewhere else.
I think we've just had so long of, you know, and this is going to sound like a very privileged thing to say, so we are aware of how, like, you know, we're very grateful to be able to do this trip and whatnot, but like it's just been so long since we haven't been under a time frame or haven't had that time pressure. And, you know, it's actually just such a nice idea to be like, if we want to stay for 5 days, we can stay. And if we wake up the next day and it's like, you know what, want to move on, then we move on. So that, I guess, is a real novelty idea for both of us, I think. Neither of us have really had any time off of work since we started when we were teenagers, I guess. So,
and this won't be time off,
no,
to be honest,
working.
but we are super keen.
But yeah, so I guess that is also a bit of like, and also just the energy to do the planning, I guess, is can't be bothered. I'm sure, I'll throw my phone on the floor, I'm sure we'll pay for it later, but yeah, so either way, where am I up to? Sorry, there's more coming through. Anthony said, well done guys, hi from Mount Gambier in South Australia. Oh, wicked.
Wow.
Joe, I can't read that last name, Letieri?
Joe Letieri, he's one of our latest Explorer tier Patreon members.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome milestone, guys. Well done. Looking forward to the content during your lap around Oz. Keep it up. I thoroughly enjoy your content. Thank you.
Thank you so much, mate.
I'm glad you're looking forward
Really
to the
appreciate
content
that.
while we're traveling, because it's pretty much all we'll be doing. Only very much DIY.
Yep.
Martin Hughes said, looking forward to all the videos from around Oz. Awesome. Darwin said, water tank being hooked up yet, Daniel, or the laughing face? Yeah, no, not yet.
No, it's still, it's under the car. It's just not plumbed into anything yet. There's a pump is like hanging off the chassis, and I've got my water tank installed, but it all needs plumbing in between all that. The wiring's done, which is good.
David Moore said, congratulations. Digby's Down Under said, I came in late. What's the proposed route around Australia? We'll get to that. Let me get through the comments first before you go on a rant. Not a rant, on your tangent. Greg said, definitely 270, have one. Canopy can open fully open and no interference. That's awesome. Would like to know what kind of
what model
awning you've got.
I'm just going to check the battery on the GoPro.
Dean said, congrats guys on the 30K and thanks for the advice at the Perth Driver Show, as this weekend I'm ordering my new MRT canopy. Oh, wicked.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
exciting
well
times.
done. They are good canopies. Marzi said, hey, have you needed to replace one of the over-centre latches on the rooftop tent? One of mine fell off. Can't find the right size. Congrats on 30K. I've been watching since early days. One of the over-centre latches...
They're the 8 clips that clamp the tent shut. No, we haven't. They've all been fine, and we've put those poor latches through hell because we currently pack that tent away with a sleeping bag, a doona, a fitted sheet, obviously around the mattress, and our pillows as well. So we're kind of really putting some force on those over-centre latches, but none of them have failed so far. Touch wood. It's wood.
Diane, hello. She says, shirt looks fine.
Thank you. I thought we'd show both colours today.
Yeah, well, I just prefer, I wear black all the time. So, Greg said, are you adding the shelf above the drawers? Yes.
That's a good
Oh, you mean
point.
above?
I'm guessing you mean like a shelf on the very top to like slot a table or something in?
We were talking as well about.
Oh, this is the one. Yes, that might be from the show potentially.
Not sure.
Yeah, so a great idea from. It might be Greg or someone else who came to chat to us at the show, which was to either raise the whole drawer system up, which would be a lot of work and probably not something I'd go back and add now, but hypothetically, if I was to rebuild it, have a bit of space below that drawer that you can either slot the rooftop tent ladder in or a table, and the drawer still function as per usual on top. So that stuff you can just like slot in last thing or pull out first thing, and it's not interfering with anything else.
Or just chuck it on top of the drawers.
Yeah, what we could do. instead just build something on top to achieve a similar result. So good idea, time dependent if, time will depend on if we can, it will depend on time if we can actually get that done before we set off or not. So we'd like to, but we'll see how we go.
Four-wheeling in New South Wales. Well done, guys. So deserved. And I've been here all along enjoying every video. Yes.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, you've been here for the long run. Chris MC said, congrats, guys. If you're doing a lap, make sure you see plenty of New South Wales, as there's some great places, but not many YouTubers seem to show it.
Okay.
I'm really bad at geography. What's in New South Wales? Is that the one after South Australia?
Just keep going.
I'm really bad. Oh, no. I'm trying to do it in my head now. No store, don't know. Do you have a rear view mirror camera replacement?
No, we do not, but we saw one at the show, actually again in Camping Down Under's highlights. It's like a permanent full-time rear vision camera replacement, or not replacement, it kind of clips over your rear vision mirror and gives you feed behind the car. Would definitely like to do something like that, we just don't have it yet. And I suppose when we're driving, we haven't really needed it that often to put it up the priority list for us, but maybe one day.
Yeah, Greg also said, when you get solar, the red arc has green priority, so when there is sun even driving, it will charge from there rather than the battery.
Yep. I think our DC-DC has the same system, the solar priority in the one we've got too, so that's good.
Daniel Davidson said, love the balloons, nice touch, thank you. Once again, have our miniature K, because we got from Kmart, and the letters are always way smaller than the numbers.
Yeah, so, like 30K.
Yep. Shane said, is the drawer for Coke storage? Absolutely. Vanilla Cokes only. Alan Miller said, well done, as a testament to your fun and down-to-earth content and method. I'm so glad I understood what down to and then the picture of Earth was. My brain did a good job there.
Down to world. Down to world average.
Down to planet. Down-to-earth content. Yeah, thank you. Greg said he has the Camp Boss 270 awning.
Oh, yes, this was, I think we definitely spoke to you at the show.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so Camp Boss won't interfere with the doors. That's good to know.
Yeah. Daniel Sigetti says, congrats on the 30K, guys. Keep up the great work. Cheers. Thank you. Dean says, do you guys plan on meeting up with other content creators while traveling around Australia?
We'll see how we go, to be honest. Like, we're definitely open to it. It's just, it's one of those things that's pretty hard to time everything to co-align because everyone's kind of flat out in that space. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll put the word out and see where we're going to be based once we know ourselves where and when we're going to be based in what location. But yeah, we'd love to if there's the opportunity, or even just do a bit of a meet-up for people that follow the channel.
We have actually chatted about it here and there, but don't want to put anything out definitively, so please don't take this as word. But yeah, we have chatted about like, potentially just doing like a catch-up, like if you want to come join for a camp for a night or something somewhere. But yeah, the hardest part about that, I guess, is you don't know how many people will come, and then you risk having like a massive group in like a really tiny area.
Or if we're traveling, it's like we won't know the location. It's like, come and camp. Also, do you know where we can go?
Yeah, let's do a group camp. But
you guys organise a tag along and we'll come.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Invite us to attach to something. That would be cool. But no, definitely open to it. So
yeah. I was just thinking, I haven't even spoken to Bianca about this, but just timing-wise next year, we might be going through Melbourne around the Melbourne 4-wheel drive show time next year. So there's a chance we might be there again, depending on exactly where we are.
That was really good. It was so intense.
Such a busy show.
Good. Melbourne drivers, you guys are insane. I don't understand the roads in Melbourne. I thought I was an alright driver. I'm never driving in Melbourne. Bad Q Garage. Oh, Dave and D. Woohoo, congratulations, guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, sorry. I just want to say thank you. We've just had my watch buzz. A new Patreon member has just signed up. So Josh, I'm not sure if you're here on the live stream, but thank you so much for the support there. He signed up as an Explorer tier Patreon member. So that's huge. Honestly, like the support we're getting through Patreon is huge and definitely makes it a lot more possible for us to be, making this move next year to leave the house behind and go travel and just continue the channel in a lot of different ways as well. Definitely. Because obviously I don't work full time anymore, so this is kind of all there is. And my video production business as a whole, which is it's all stemmed back from YouTube. So support like that really means the world to us.
We do. And we owe it all to you guys. And we're always so grateful because both of us are kind of just like, oh my God, why? Why do you want to keep supporting us so much? Like, we're really grateful for it.
Definitely. And in the same token, like, never feel any pressure to sign up to Patreon. It's purely there as a way that if you guys ever wanted to show extra support, that's there as an option, but no obligation whatsoever. Just watching a video every now and then is more than enough for us. And that's why we started this in the first place. And that's why we'll continue to bring out videos as often as we can.
Yeah, continuing to read through, I'm almost caught up now. Laurie Sherwood said, awesome. Always look forward to seeing your videos. Great seeing WA through your adventures. Thank you. Yeah, I think, look, we've definitely showcased some amazing spots in WA and we're so lucky to live here. It's incredible. So I can't wait to see the rest of Australia and see how it, what's the word? Compares.
I think, yeah, it's like everything we've seen, even just within WA, is always special for its own reason. Like you get the beautiful beaches up near Coral Bay, Exmouth, contrasted to like the big gorges in Karrajini or the dust of the Gibb River Road and all those like crocodiles and whatnot up that way. Like everything is so vastly different, even down south, heading down to the Dontracasto National Park, which Bianca will now pronounce for you on camera.
Dontracasto.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
If you want to see it spelt, it's horrible. If you're not a WA local or you don't know what that is, look it up. Try and spell it a D. You'll never be able to find it.
Yeah, I had a bit of practice when I was heading down for a camping trip that way, and I had to say it on camp. Dontracasto.
Dontracasto.
I'm probably saying it wrong. Someone will be commenting like that's not the technically correct pronunciation.
Oh no, I've lost track again. Nope, 4-wheeler in New South Wales. Check out the Cruisy Camper 270-degree awning. Just got one and love it.
Okay, good to know.
I've not heard of that, but thank you. Alan Miller, yep, awesome. And then another Earth, cool.
Awesome.
Doug, happy 30k. Daniel Bianca, well deserved and great to meet at the Perth All Drive show. Doug and Jeanette. Jeanette. Am I saying that right?
Thank you, Doug and Jeanette. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I really appreciate
and
that.
It was lovely to talk to you guys too. We had some great combos actually. It was really good. Daniel Davison said, like I said to you, Dan, just paying for Netflix. Better content too. Thank you.
I really, really appreciate that.
Netflix with one choice. Yeah. Which for some is probably better.
And it's like, is this for you? No, not for me. Next.
Digby's said, have you done Cape Tribulation?
No.
I've never even heard of that.
No.
What is Cape Tribulation?
Where is this?
Yeah, where is it? What is it? I've never heard of it, which is not surprising. I don't remember much, so I don't remember names. Places.
While waiting for that, I will just also say another post we had on another question we had on one of our posts was from Video Show Me How Adam. He just asked what the best mod we've done to the D-Max was, and now that I've just started saying that question, it's a really hard one to answer. So what would you say? Best single mod?
Are we talking about mod to just the D-Max or the whole setup?
I'm thinking things would be like wheels, the canopy as a whole, rooftop tent, suspension, bull bar.
I was going to say, it's tricky. I really like the bull bar, which sounds so strange. But in terms of looks, I think the bull bar is probably one of the big ones. I'm just kind of putting the canopy as part of the car, by the way. I'm not counting the canopy as a mod. I'm including everything in the canopy as like, I guess that's also a mod because that would be my favourite, right? But
you couldn't do that without the canopy, yeah. Tough one to answer. I'd almost say... I wouldn't. I was going to say I'd almost say suspension because it enables that GVM upgrade so we can actually build the setup we want on the back. It's been comfortable for us. But without the canopy, we wouldn't be anywhere. So
I don't know. Well, what mod do we like? And the tune was pretty good actually. It gave us a lot of power and better fuel economy. So in terms of that,
yeah,
depends what context you're looking
at
it from.
led to a few issues, but if it was without issues, then the tune would definitely be up there.
Yeah, I guess we're lucky in the way that like this. Even as a stock standard car, like the D-Max has always been really reliable and a good car to drive. So in that, when I look at it from stock to now, excluding the canopy, because again, like that is, if you count that as a mod, then obviously that's our favorite. But I'd still probably stick with the bull bar because it made it look better. Without a bull bar, it kind of looks weird.
It also gives you a lot of options, the bull bar, like, okay, protection, number one, but also the ability to mount things like spotlights, UHF aerials, well,
spotlights are
in a way.
Slim.
A winch, which will be going in the car at some point over the next few months. There is a winch going in. Actually, when I was over in Victoria, that was kind of what drove it home for me that it would be valuable to have one to potentially get us out of trouble should we ever find ourselves in a situation where, we're having trouble. I just got that peace of mind thing, really.
I think we never really realised the usage. I mean, we always know how useful they are, but like we've never really had a need for a winch over here. But I guess because most places you get stuck over here is like on a beach where there's nothing to winch off unless you've got someone else there, in which case you normally snatch off of them anyway because
there's things you can do, like you can bury a spare wheel and stuff like that.
Yeah, so and max tracks and whatnot. But I guess when Daniel did his solo trips over east, some of the tracks that he showed me that he was driving on, it's definitely stuff where you're like, no, that's actually perfect for a winch. But we just don't seem to drive those as often here in WA.
Yeah, and just at least next year it might enable us to head down the track that's a little bit more challenging than we would normally used to, with that peace of mind. So not necessarily like try everything because you've got a winch and just rely on that, but you know, just that extra 10% that you're a bit unsure about, but it should be fine. You'll have that extra confidence to actually go for it because you can do some self-recovery, which is pretty hard to do normally when you're traveling solo, and it is what kind of keeps me to the slightly tamer tracks, especially when I'm literally by myself or without phone reception, or it's just worth playing safe.
Daniel is with Kogan with his phone at the moment. He gets reception nowhere. I mean, we don't even get reception in our own house, but that's just where we are. But
I paid $25 a month.
He does it like as soon as you leave like any main built-up vicinity, no reception. Like when we did our trip down to Esperance over New Year's, you still had it then. And I remember like as soon as we left Bridgetown, Daniel lost reception and he didn't get any until we got back into Bridgetown.
Yep.
Whereas I had reception most of the time because I'm with Telstra.
Well, that's what the Starlink's for, right? If we need internet that badly enough, we can set it up now moving forward. Also, thank you, Chris Ball, just signed up to the Patreon as well. Massive support there. Thank you so much.
So I just read, Alan Miller said, is a French accent required for Don Tricasto? And thank you for putting it in the comments. Now people can know how to spell it. What's a French accent? Oh,
oh, go on. This will be good.
I don't know how to do that. Oui, oui. That's French, right? So we'll be like, oh, Don Tricasto. No, I've just gone Italian. Just roll my arm.
Don Tricasto.
Don Tricasto. I feel like Italian makes sense.
I feel like we can get in trouble really quickly if we start doing accents.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, maybe, but maybe not. Digby said, really, top of Queensland, you have to do that. Is it part of Cape York? Is that the one on top of
That is what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's part of that or not.
Yeah, is Cape Tribulation part of Cape York or is it like a separate one? I don't really know anything
You'll
about
have to forgive us, like we know WA relatively well now, but anything out of WA is still pretty foreign to us. Like I know a little bit more having just been to Melbourne and back again, which was a bit of a whirlwind trip, but picked up a little bit of knowledge through that trip, but anything outside of that route is still pretty foreign to us other than the big ticket things.
Yeah, and
which
even
that
then,
may or may not be.
like when we were planning for the Gib, I didn't know what the Pentecost was. But that's just me. Like I don't really know places until I go there, and then I'm like, I'll remember it for life. So, oh, my cat's meowing at the door. Shush, sorry, so where were we? Someone else said, yep, Cape Tribulation is in Queensland.
Cool.
Digby said, you guys would love that trip, most northern part of Australia. Oh, so maybe that is what people call Cape York.
Yeah, is it one and the same, Cape York, Cape Tribulation?
Am I just like, is it just mainstreaming to say Cape York and that Cape Tribulation is actually like the proper top?
We'll look it up afterwards anyway.
Anyway, Liam Barnes, which direction are you going next year? Yes, we will answer that.
Let's jump into that
No,
now.
let's just do that now because I've said that before.
So, this has just been chopping and changing even up to like a couple of weeks ago, just before the show. We should get a big map so we can kind of draw this out. Not right now though. So our rough plan is we're going to head from here down, there's a whiteboard there and draw, down to Esperance. We're almost going to beeline straight down to Esperance because it's one of those things that's been on our list forever, right? We've actually planned this probably it's up there.
Oh, it is. I was going to draw a chalk.
We've actually planned to head to Esperance about 3 times, and for whatever reason, like it just always gets put off. Like one reason was like I think I changed jobs. This is going back years and years and years. Bianca had planned this whole trip out, and I had to cancel it on her because I changed jobs and just didn't have annual leave anymore. So step number 1 for us is going to be to head down to. Okay, this is even better because now Bianca gets to show her knowledge of where places are. No. So we're going to go to Esperance first, as Bianca will now draw.
As I try to draw the states, I don't even know where they go. Hang on, there's WA.
This is a chicken nugget. This is not Australia.
Look, it's good enough. Look, this is WA, right? Look, am I writing that right?
Here, let me hold it up and then you can draw on it really close to the camera.
Okay, so obviously we're in WA, so Perth is somewhere like here. Okay, so we'll just call that home. And then we're going to go down to Esperance, which is somewhere around here. I don't know how far it is. And that's where we will stay for however long. Is that?
Don't write the whole word. Oh my God.
I'm writing the whole word. And then we're going to go from there. It's going to get quick. I don't know where these states are. I know like Northern Territory and then Queensland, but I don't know what happens in here. Something weird, right? Hang on. Can I do it? Is it like this? Is that right? Oh, I missed one.
It's not too bad.
Oh wait, I've missed South Australia. Is that right?
Yep.
And then what's this? South Australia. And then is this New South Wales? Have I drawn it huge?
And then Vic down here.
I did it. I do know Australia.
Okay, so essentially straight down to Esperance, spend a bit of time there. We are going to try and get through WA I'm gonna see it like this, but pretty quick for this trip because we have done it quite extensively in the past, and we do want to leave some places for us to still explore once we get back from our lap around Australia. So from Esperance, where are we going?
From there, we are gonna go, so that'll be like, I don't know, March, and then sort of February, March, and then we're gonna go all the way across through South Australia. Are we going as far as New South Wales?
Nope.
No, we're just gonna stick in South Australia, so like sort of March, April-ish, and then we're gonna, instead of going to New South Wales, we're gonna come up and then somewhere in here, I don't actually know if Alice Springs is South Australia or Northern Territory, but we're gonna put it in between.
This is so good.
Leave me alone.
I hope someone's just jumped in now. It's like Daniel Bianca's Guide of Australia.
Oh, this is our map. This is our lap, our big lap. Anyway, so yeah, Esperance across to South Australia. That'll be like
Flinders Ranges just down here. We'll spend a fair bit of time in there.
somewhere there. I'm not writing it. And then we'll go from there, sort of March, April, late April. We want to kind of hit Alice Springs around late April. And then from there, we're going to go up into the Northern Territory, which is very blurry because we have no plan at all about what we're going to do there. We just know that we kind of want to hit the top of Queensland sort of around May, late May probably. So hopefully just before the peak holiday season because, you know, screw that. I'm trying to get away from school kids. No, just to try and, you know, not, when we're filming, it's better if it's quieter and, you know, we all want to beat the crowd, so if we can, why not? And then, so yeah, May, then I guess May, June, July, kind of coming down this east coast and then hitting around New South Wales and Victoria, which I've drawn terribly.
So the reason for this kind of orientation, which Bianca might have just been getting to, is we really wanted to hit this Victorian high country and potentially see some snow while we're there.
Yeah, so we're thinking like July, August, September, being in this whole like high country area.
Because our first plan was just to continue down through, but that would kind of sit us there around, you know, like April, May-ish. But this way we get down there just after winter.
We didn't want to be doing the Alice, there was something else that we didn't want. I think it was the Cape up here. We didn't want to do that too late in the year either, I guess. But yeah, and so it was mainly, we want to be here in winter and not summer, definitely not summer.
And then depending on time, we might then come back home to WA, not the same route, we might come up through the middle.
I'd love to go do, I can't remember, I'm sure there's a road that kind of goes like that. I just don't know what it is, but I'm sure it'll be one.
Just like that.
Or maybe we'll go and do the Gib again and then, I don't know, come back. Who knows?
Yeah. So. Anyway, that is our plan. So look forward to watching that next year. And to be honest, that may well change. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the preview back on. That may well change by the time we actually set off and start making our way around. But it's good to start with at least somewhat of a rough idea. Yeah,
so hopefully that gives you about as clear as mud, which is about as clear as it is for us. Really top of Queensland, you have to do that. Cape Tribulation is in Queensland, You guys love that trip. So yeah, so there we go. Liam Barnes was on, so which direction? So yeah, I guess we're kind of going counterclockwise, but then clockwise.
Yep.
So, Tarwin said, what advice would you give someone who wants to start out on YouTube? I travel for my job, a truck driver, and wife is an EA. You guys would probably remember. Yeah, I do actually. I remember talking to you. And I said that your wife was amazing for being an EA because my life is so much nicer when I have EAs. And I remember talking about truck driving. For YouTube, this is probably more your realm in terms of actually the physical parts of it, but
I would probably say film what you're interested in filming, which just sounds pretty cliche, but that's kind of how it started. How it started for me was just filming bits that I was already doing in the garage, but then also try and improve on one area of the video each time. So maybe it's like, okay, adding a microphone to make the audio sound better, or thinking more about the camera angles, or not having the sun in your face if that was an issue for one of the episodes. Read through the comments, try and people will tell you sometimes not in the friendliest of ways what you need to improve.
You do have to have a little bit of thick skin too, because haters are going to hate, as cliche as that is. But
yeah, and have a look what other people are doing in a similar space. You might get some ideas, not to copy, but just to be like, okay, that flow worked, structuring an episode that way made sense. You get a feel of the length, but yeah, just don't be disheartened in the early days. It can take a while to, start building a bit of an audience, but that's good because I'd hate it if we, from day one, went straight to the level we are now, because then there's so much pressure and your quality is still, it takes a while to build up both your on-camera presence, I suppose, and the camera quality and the editing side of things. There's so many different layers to the whole YouTube world that you do, I feel personally, unless I'm a bit slower than most, you need that time to organically, step-by-step improve to get to a point where you can actually, I don't know, I guess there's no limit to how you can kind of progress in that world. So take your time, listen to people, review your own footage. Have someone like Bianca to watch back and be like, you need to fix this, you need to improve on this.
Maybe not someone quite as brutal as me. Daniel has a special knack for dealing with my criticism. I'm so very blunt, but he takes it like a champ. And then asks for more, so why not? But
And you also don't need great gear. Like we started this channel with a phone. Like
no mics. Just
I
a
kind of
phone.
obsess over like getting the best quality we possibly can. So we have kind of upgraded cameras as we've gone along, but you definitely don't need to. There's channels out there with millions of subscribers just using their phone or a GoPro, which is what we're on right now. It's definitely 99% you talking on camera or you whatever you're showing. It's the content, 99% content, 1% the gear you're using, maybe with the exception of audio because
it's hard to watch a video if you can't hear it properly.
Yeah, so what we did in the super early days for us was I had this they're called like a lav mic or lavalier microphone that you designed similar to like what we're using right now, but you put it like on your shirt or somewhere close to your mouth. And
Usually
the one
used
we
for, like,
had
interviews when you're standing still.
the one we had was on we had like a 10-meter extension cable. It was plugged back into our my phone at the time, which is what I was using for the first probably 20 or 30 videos on the channel. But then I was really obsessed with trying to make it look like natural and organic and no cables, like hide all that stuff. And so I wanted to do clips of me just like walking along the beach, but talking to the camera. And so poor Bianca, unbeknownst to the audience, was like following me, filming with the phone, and also like trying to spool up 10 meters of cable so I didn't step on it.
Cable around my arm, and I had the phone in one hand, and I got really good at managing to drop my arm just enough to let one loop off and then pick it back up, and then vice versa. If he was walking towards me, I'd be like winding my arm up and keeping the phone. I was very multitasking there.
I think
very talented with that.
For like the real diehard viewers that actually want to see an example of that, the original MRT central locking install video, the very end of that, we're testing the proximity or how far away it will work on the beach. That's the clip that comes to mind for me when I remember that microphone system, because I walked like 100 meters down the beach with Bianca like following me.
Yes, that's right. And that's extra hard because you're on sand and my bit of advice for YouTube and starting off on YouTube is definitely be yourself. Try and be as authentic as you can be to you. Don't get into it for the money because that is a long time coming and it's not much. But also people smell through bullshit really quickly. And excuse my French, but they do. So I guess, and it's really hard to keep up a facade if that's what you start doing. So, you know, like the common bit of feedback that we always get from everyone, which is nice, is that we are down to earth and we are real and we're authentic. And I always say to people, like, I can't be any other way. Like, I just have no filter, but I don't have the energy to try and be anything else, you know? Like, of course, you filter some bits in terms of, like, I'm not going to come on and start abusing you, but that's also not what I would do anyway.
When the cameras are off, look out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, of course, I try to put my best foot forward, but it's still me.
Yeah.
I'm never going above what I am or what I do.
Yeah, you can be the version of yourself that you want to present to the world and you're comfortable presenting to the world. It's not to say you just put the camera on and then just go. Like so many times for us, we reshoot or like not quite happy with the way we worded something or the way we communicated or shown something. But so then we'll just reshoot and go again.
It's never reshot though because we don't like how we are. It's more shot because that didn't explain it well enough, you know. So
yeah, well for me it's I guess it's always been about communicating what, like, as long as I'm getting across what I'm trying to get across in the video, that's the main thing for me. I'm not really thinking about how I'm personally being perceived. That kind of just comes with the territory, I suppose. Like people will see who you are within like the first 3 seconds, they'll know what you're about.
You will see how you are. As soon as you start editing, you'll realise every little thing that you do because it's highlighted.
Definitely.
So I guess, I guess a bit of wisdom, I guess, is like not worrying too much about what other people think of you as a person, because at the end of the day, you know, you are who you are and people either like it or they won't.
Yeah.
There's no point trying to please everyone, which is, the other huge thing that with Daniel especially, I think, has struggled a little with, because we're both people pleasers, but like, you cannot please everyone. What you do to please one group will then annoy another group, but then what you do to please them will annoy the first group. So you can, at the end of the day, you just do what you reckon. Just
put out what you're proud to put out, essentially. And I guess I would also say is, like, don't get too bogged down with trying to, like, promote things too much. Like, I don't know how to phrase that in an effective way, but your time is much better spent on working out what you're going to film next and improving the areas you want to improve, rather than like trying to broadcast or promote what you've already done, if that makes sense. So even like once I've posted a video on the channel, my attention is then on the next video. It's not really like analyzing the previous ones too much. Like we do, but don't get too bogged down in it, I suppose,
Yeah.
is what I'd say there. Because you do see people who are like, they've done a series of videos and they've put their heart and soul into it so you can sympathise, but they'll be trying to plaster it everywhere to bolster those views where personally I feel like that time's better spent in, just like trying to improve, essentially.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was a long-winded one, but it's also a huge area, so you could talk about that for hours. Liam Barnes said, big congrats, thank you. Greg said, did you get IFS diff drop when lifted? Sand anchor for the beach. Yeah, if you drop the diff. No.
Stuff's still fully factory. I've even got factory upper control arm still, and it's all working fine. We do have the steering knuckle upgrade, and it's just a 2-inch lift, so it's pretty mild, and so far it's okay. And the CV angles aren't too crazy, which is normally where you'd want to be looking into things like diff drops. So I'm probably gonna leave it like that for now, I reckon, because it's been running fine it's done over 70,000 Ks now, the D-Max.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It'd be really cool, interesting to see how it pulls up after next year, because I feel like if it survives that, then I don't know whatever testament you need. That's a lot of driving, a lot of Ks and a lot off road. So anyway, moving on. Four Wheeling in New South Wales said Cape York is the most northern tip. Cape Tribulation is further down south. And Digsby said yes, it is. Cape Tribulation is the road or track. So,
okay.
Cool, thank you. That makes sense.
We will almost definitely be checking that out then, because we'll definitely be doing the Cape, because you have to.
Can't do a lap of Australia and not do the Cape, especially when they'll probably close it one day. Laurie said 2 years ago we hit 10,000 K. Yeah, I know. And then just 8 months ago was 20,000, and now we're already at 30. So it's
crazy.
It has been growing exponentially, which we're so grateful for. It's just
insane.
Yeah,
it might slow down a bit now, because I think whenever there's like a big new DIY project, which in 2022 was the first Canopy built on the channel, and then the chassis mount Canopy, that's been a big part of the channel over the last 6 or 8 months, which definitely kicks things along. So we'll see how the channel grows from here on out, but we're just stoked to be where we are.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm just reading through comments and giggling. Digby's was just laughing. James has said, good day to Jack, you're everywhere. Cool. Bad Q Garage and Digby's Down Under both said, don't forget Tassie. We're not forgetting Tassie.
Hot
we're
topic.
just choosing not to do it, partially because lack of organisation.
We will do it, just not for this particular lap.
Yeah, because you have to book so far in advance to get that ferry across with your vehicle, and it also costs an arm and a leg. And I guess we couldn't guarantee exactly what time of the year we could be there. And like, sure, we could have made it work, but again, we wanted that freedom, and I guess, it was just sort of like, let's just not stress ourselves out and trying to get that fitted in, get the dates perfect, and figure out what to do there, because then, it's like, we might have decided like, oh, we'd love to stay here for another week, but we've got to be over there in, X amount of time.
Yeah, I guess we didn't want to divide ourselves too thin for this lap too, but the last thing you want is to like, get somewhere amazing and then just kind of rush through, see it in a couple of days, and then have to move on to the next place. So we will get there, maybe even as like a dedicated trip in future, like beeline all the way down.
If we do Tassie, I reckon it'll be its own trip. It won't even be a part of the lap of Australia. It'll be like, we're going to Tassie.
So we just want to give it the time it deserves.
Yeah, so definitely. Unfortunately, not this trip, but it's so stunning. The photos and videos I see of Tassie look incredible. So I definitely want to make it worth our while. Worth it. I don't know how to say it. We want to do it justice.
Yeah.
Don't forget Tassie. Jack's just replying to James. June Bingham, hello guys, found this live stream. Hi, thank you. Southern Gentleman, never wipe that again. Oh, the Aussie map.
we should literally bring it with us and like get like a different colour to like highlight in when we've actually gone to those places.
Yeah. I'll take a photo of it.
It's pretty special.
That's our...
For any people who just viewed, Bianca drew a lovely map of our plan.
It's very accurate, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. J and H said, congrats on 30K in such a short time, guys. Thank you. Marty G, yell out if you want some help finding snow in Victoria when you're here. Local wheeling is the high country and lucky to find snow every year.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you.
Awesome.
James said, you guys are doing great. Thank you very much. Taiwan said, great. Central Road cuts from Alice Springs to Laverton down to Kalgoorlie, then to Perth.
That's the one you're thinking of.
That's the one I was thinking of. Thank you. I didn't want to mess it up and say that because there's another road that goes like straight down and I didn't want to mess it up. Yeah, my geography.
I thought you just broke. Bianca.exe is not responding.
What do you mean? Am I saying it right? Geography?
Yeah, your geographical knowledge. Or,
yeah, that's really bad. To the point that I can't even say the word and be confident in it.
Mine too. I just get lost everywhere.
Yeah, you have no sense of direction. June said, yeah, congrats on 30K subscribers. Thank you. Mark said, do you watch anyone who you get inspiration from? That's a really good question. Quite
Yeah.
a few people actually, and for different reasons, you know. So
Definitely. For me to name one, Aussie Arvos is probably
Yes.
the biggest channel I personally look up to. I think all their stuff is next level, and sometimes I
Yeah.
can't watch their stuff because I feel bad about the stuff that we're producing.
Yeah, actually, and that's the thing too. Like as this gets bigger and bigger, it's like you almost get scared to watch other channels, and this sounds really horrible. Like sounds really self-centered, I guess. But we get scared to watch other channels because they do such a good job, and it's like, oh God, we've still got.
But it's good,
it's
right?
still
It
so
keeps
terrible in
you
comparison.
striving, which is kind of what I was mentioning earlier. Like,
Yeah.
keep trying to do a little bit better in a few different ways, and you'll get some ideas
Yeah,
from
but
people
also
like that.
absolute mad respect. There's a lot of channels
Yeah.
out there that are just incredible. Like the guy that I keep forgetting, Gavin, Sandy.
Sandy Tracks on Instagram, who's just
Instagram.
kind of dabbling with video stuff now. Like, oh, just the
God.
best quality stuff.
To the point that I kind of hate him because he's so good, but love it. Yeah, if I can get that good at his photography and videography level, it's just insane, out of this world. But yeah, in terms of YouTube channels, yeah, Aussie Arvo is definitely
Yeah,
huge
there's
one.
so many. I won't run through all this because then I'll leave someone
Yeah.
out on
Yeah,
accident, and
yeah.
then they'll feel bad. But that's just one example I wanted to give.
Definitely, and I also like Matt and Em, who obviously have a very similar setup to us, and we've met them, and so we've kind of got that little bit of rapport. But just their footage as well, it's, I guess because it's so similar to what we're doing, it's really nice to kind of look up to their footage and be like, God, yeah, cool,
Yeah.
we can try shots
That's
like that.
Borderline Explorers, by the way.
Sorry, yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm terrible with that. But yeah, so many more.
Like,
Like,
oh yeah, John's channel. Go and check him out.
Bob. So yeah, I guess a lot is the answer there. I
Yeah.
actually don't watch that many full drive channels though. I do like to watch 24/7. No, full driving 24/7, 24/7.
She watches Explorebound 24/7.
You know the main one that used to be a TV show. I like to watch those just for entertainment. I don't think we'll ever get.
Yeah, we only recently started. We're so late to the party. We've only recently started getting into the Forward Drive 24/7 videos.
I only like the trip videos at the moment.
Yeah, maybe it's because we're planning a lap, so we'll like search those locations, and then because they've been here, there, and everywhere, there'll always be an episode of theirs. But yeah, we enjoy watching that stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, normally I actually just watch random crap on YouTube that's nothing to do with full driving. So Daniel's definitely the bigger one there. Where were we up to? James said Hill 30k subscribers is a real mine. Oh hell 30k subscribers is a real milestone. Bring on 50k.
Woohoo.
Yeah, God, that's huge, hey. Where the escapes, congrats on the 30k guys. Sub guys, well was deserved. Thank you. Digsby said hit the thumbs up, guys and girls, helps them. Oh, thank you.
Definitely.
We never
yes.
advertise anything like that. Digsby said, yep, all the best, you two, got to go. Yeah, thanks, Digsby. It was lovely to see you in the comments again.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
all the best. That guy, congrats on the milestone legends.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Four-wheeling. Daniel, while I think of it, did you ever try that custom timber ladder sand rest?
Yes.
I've
Absolutely,
seen
it's
you-
literally like in the corner of my garage, just
Try to
there.
put on
Very
the sand
useful.
field rattle.
So Grant from Four Wheeling New South Wales actually custom made us some beautiful wooden stands for the ladder to go down and rest on when you're camping in sand. So your ladder doesn't like dig into the sand. After I think you would be able to see them on my Don Tracaster episodes about 6 months ago or a year ago. Anyway, yeah, they're working really well. Very handy for sand.
I was going to say, I don't know if I use them, but I also have not been camping with you
Most of our trips recently have been like Gibb River Road, stuff like that.
Daniel's done a few solo. Like the last camping trip I went on was the Gibb, which was in June and July. Like I got back on the 5th or 6th of July or something. So that's the last time I've been camping, not joking.
This has been a bit of an inland year as well. We've done the Holland track.
Yeah.
I've done that twice, once on camera, once off camera.
I actually haven't camped on the beach for like... When was the last time I would have camped on the beach? Would it have been you, girl?
I don't know. I'm not
Maybe.
sure. Even Bremer, start of the year.
Yeah, it's actually been almost a year since I did a beach camp. So that's what, I wouldn't remember using them because I know that you have, but I don't think I have. Anyway, sorry, it just made me think about it.
Talk Hub Media.
Does being a teach geography? Thankfully not. I teach science and maths.
I was going to say, Talk Hub Media, hello. We
Oh yeah, Talk
bumped
Hub Media,
into
thank you.
him at the Forward Drive show.
Epic job, dudes. Keep on killing it. Thank you. And James,
Great.
map drawing is next level. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I
Yes.
should teach geography. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I quite often get made fun of for my what really are just epically good drawings at school. I don't know why they just don't even appreciate them. Like, kids sell that. It's such good art.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, I will just kind of mention what's coming soon on the channel. We are once again going to be doing our Christmas giveaway pretty soon. We're just kind of organising the last few pieces of that puzzle before filming that video and getting that underway.
I was going to give you a sneak the sneak preview of one of the prizes, but it's inside.
So still trying to organise stuff in the back end, but we absolutely love doing those. So we're doing that once again, and probably also doing a live stream to draw the winners for that competition when that comes about. So stay tuned for that coming out soon. Got part 2 of my brief time spent in the Victorian High Country coming out next Monday.
If you're wondering why he didn't do much there while he was over there, it's because he had strict orders from me to not do anything that I would be sad about missing out on, which...
I still tried, although they just experienced some of the worst weather for a long time. If you're a Victorian local, you might have...
The crazy
Yeah, it was
winds.
just after the Melbourne Forward Drive show, there was just like cyclonic winds coming through, crazy rain, to the point like I was being careful where I was like parking my car to camp because I just didn't want branches and whatnot falling in my car. I ended up camping on a closed track/road because when I drove in, it wasn't closed. Set up camp for the night, left the next day, and I was like, man, these roads are really quiet. And the only people I'm seeing are like, you know, council workers clearing branches and logs off the road. Got to the end or like where it was heading into a town, and it turned out the road that I was on had been closed overnight due to those weather conditions. I was camping on a closed track.
I would also like to mention that night he fired up the Starlink because no reception anywhere. And I got this message from him saying like, I'm actually a little bit worried about trees falling over on me. And I remember being like, okay, like how close are you? Like is there lots of trees? Like what is it and stuff? And he was like, oh, I can't really show you, it's dark and
I'm in
whatnot.
the middle of a forest though.
But yeah, he's like, I'm in the middle of the forest by the river. And I was like, okay, well like, I don't know, try to be careful, I guess. And then yeah, thankfully all was fine. But then when I heard that, I was like, wow, probably should not have been camped out in that.
So that's the campsite. If you've watched episode 1 of the trip, that was where I ended up camping. On that episode was the place that was closed.
Yeah, so there you go.
Hence why it was nice and quiet.
Exactly. Anyway, sorry. Worthy escapes. So, any kids or parents recognise you from YouTube? In terms of my school, so far, I think I've had a couple of like older year 12s find Daniel's YouTube videos and then kind of put 2 and 2 together from that. But otherwise, no, and they just found that because they're actually looking up, I think, a drive down to Ugerup or something and came across our video. So, but otherwise, no, not really, and I keep it not on the down low, but I don't advertise it at all because, you know, I've got enough to worry about as a teacher. So.
Yeah, neither of us really advertise much in that respect.
And parents, not that I've heard, I guess, but they also probably wouldn't really think of it because you don't. Yeah, it's pretty rare, I guess, to put 2 and 2 together. I look quite different when
I
I'm
was gonna say.
teaching than when I'm on the channel. You know, teaching I actually have to be professional, and I probably have more of a filter in teaching.
I reckon she could wear her Explore Bound shirt to work though. Why not, hey?
No.
A couple more comments. Will there any? Scotty J says, will there be any fishing episodes from your legends? Congrats. Possibly. I do like the idea of being good at fishing. I'm just not, and I haven't really had the chance to put time into getting good. So maybe on a lap around Australia, if we get some downtime, I can try my luck. I've got my fishing rod sitting in the corner, slowly gathering dust day in, day out.
I get really bored fishing.
But if you guys watched the Shark Bay trip last year when my fishing rod broke, I did buy a new one after that trip. So the idea is there, and the ambition is, I'm just not very good and we don't really get much opportunities.
No, but someone at the show told me that lures are the way to go now. You don't need fresh bait anymore because lures are good enough. So don't know how good that is. I don't know. Don't know enough about fishing.
It probably depends on what you're catching.
By the way, you missed Talk Media said, has been an amazing journey watching you grow from the Ranger till now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott Edwards, cool to see you at 30k. Been watching since very early on. Thank you. Where the Escapes. Oh yeah, that's the one I read before. Sorry, I missed a couple. Four Wheeling, thanks guys for the live stream. Thoroughly enjoyed it as always. Stay safe and happy travels. Catch up later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, I can't say the last name. Lettieri, you commented earlier. It was so windy around that time of the full drive show in Melbourne. Hit me up when you get here.
Awesome.
When you do get here, and I'll show you some tracks I mentioned the show. Beautiful. And then Bill's channel said, "G'day mate from William, Mount Gambier, South Australia."
Wow, there you go.
Wow, there you go.
Awesome,
you,
thanks
Bill.
for joining. So I suppose with that, we'll probably wrap up this live stream now because it's hot in the garage and it's been so great to chat to you guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. We're never sure if anyone's going to tune in to watch these live streams, but we just wanted to celebrate hitting 30k. So I bought these from Kmart today to celebrate.
Draw my awesome map.
Draw awesome maps. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream. We're probably going to jump off now and
And I guess, sorry, just one more thing was if you do want to see particular content in how we're planning our trip, then feel free, but I can promise you it'll be much the same of this, much more of this, or pretty much the same
plans
as
a
this.
lap around Australia.
This is my plan around Australia, and I don't intend to plan that much more until we're on the road, I guess, we'll plan it as we go. But, but no, actually, if you do want to see, like, what we're doing to prepare the vehicle or anything like that, let us know, because I don't really know what interests you guys. So what on earth are you doing?
This is the GoPro, where every time we do a live stream, I like to try different things. So normally we use a phone, and then we tried using the main camera for our giveaway last year, but it overheated and cut the stream off halfway. So now we're using the GoPro, which is controlled by the phone here. So
there you go.
This is why Bianca is confused.
But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks so much. Yep, thanks a lot for you. Cheers. Ciao, guys. Have a great night. Yeah, thank you guys too, I guess.
Yeah, and with that, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode, which will come out in a couple of days' time. And then in February for our big lap around Australia, which we're excited for. So stay tuned for the Christmas giveaway as well in a few weeks' time once that's organised.
Yeah, otherwise.